Hello everyone, this is Sarah. Today I really wanted to make a video about what's it like having Venus square Saturn. This is also applicable for the opposition, but I wanted to explain from my experience, which is having Venus square Saturn. The way I see it, Saturn is kind of restrictions, your dad, kind of like the things you have to earn through hard work. You know, you cannot bullshit Saturn. You cannot, take the easy route when it comes to Saturn. And Venus is your self-esteem, what you find pleasure in, like your love nature. So when they come in a square, there's like tension. There's not a free-flowing form of this energy. There are blocks. It feels like Saturn breaks you down into pieces so that you build yourself back up and end up in this position of having unshakable confidence, if that makes any sense. But the process until you get to that place is not fun. It's not pretty. It's like hitting the same wall again and again and again. For someone that has Venus square Saturn, you know someone that has Venus square Saturn, you probably have heard, oh, like you're cold, like you're not very affectionate, you seem to, of course, like you don't like PDA, like no. And it's mainly because we don't feel comfortable being affectionate. So this can manifest in a lot of aspects. Say that someone writes a comment on our Instagram like blah blah blah, and we would rather respond to that with like a funny dark humor comment rather than being like, oh, I love you too so much. You know what I mean? Like we like portraying, I guess, this tough exterior, this unfazed exterior, you know, when in reality we be going through it. The early years, it feels like people do you wrong constantly. It feels like you value them so much more than they value you. It feels like you never get what you deserve, but rather the opposite. You always get what you don't deserve because people don't see the value in you and people treat you like shit. This is mainly rooted in the fact that you don't see your value within yourself. But this can also be rooted in the fact that you may have the ugly duckling syndrome, like you were, fat. Like I know I was fat when I was a kid, and then I kind of lost weight, whatever. Like the boys that I would like started noticing me, whatever, but I still didn't believe it. I still felt like I was that ugly duckling that had to settle for the first guy that came my way, because having Venus square Saturn feels like you don't have a lot of options, because when you were young you felt like you needed to earn that love and you needed to impress that someone, because this is also rooted with you, like in your father figure. I know my dad was rather cold and I didn't grow up watching what kind of like healthy love is like everyone kind of just did their thing, and my dad is a loner the same way, like just like me. And you can find yourself attracting your dad, like, you know what I mean, like you pursuing that acceptance and that impressing that someone because you feel like you need to earn that validation from that father figure. So you may be attracted to people who do you wrong, are emotionally unavailable. This is key. Just search for articles like why am I attracted to unavailable people. You will cheat on you, whatever, and this is because you are trying to earn their love, and this is because you are, it feels like I'll do a separate video on like what's like having Venus square Saturn in synastry, but it feels like you always need to impress that other person. You need to, have your shit together. You can't make no mistake. Like best version, like do not slip up, do not, make any mistakes, especially do not, like, you don't want to appear foolish. So for me, the way this manifested was that I would settle for anything that came my way in those, after the glow up, whatever, and I would still regard myself through the lenses of that insecure teenager, that insecure little girl. I'm 22, so I have the most experience. But the thing I know is that our teenage years don't feel fun. And to me, I guess, the reason why I also settled for the first thing that came my way, say a guy likes me, I would want to not settle, but like commit to them first thing. And this, I think, can be explained through the fact that I felt this, well, I still feel this sense of responsibility, like if we like each other, it only makes sense that we go through with it and that we are together, right? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not going to be flirting around with other people because that's disrespectful. That's not right. And like, you feel this sense of responsibility of doing the right thing, but you are not considering the fact that you don't even know that person, that you don't owe this person anything in the beginning, like they have to prove themselves to you in a sense. But it's hard for us to understand because we have this idea that love is putting effort, and love is impressing, and love is getting that recognition, that validation, and that, and sometimes I think we are attracted to this unavailable type of people because we know it's never going anywhere, and therefore we won't really get hurt. We will get hurt, but we know it's not going anywhere, because if you ask yourself, like, would you be able to handle real love, a real relationship, you may not be ready. And that's why you attract those individuals, because we entertain what we are on the inside, and if you are complaining about someone being available and not being clear about what they want, it's because you yourself are not clear about what you want. Because if you were, you'd be like, these are my boundaries, you do not cross them, and if you are not okay with this, then bye. Like, that's something I had to really meditate on. Also, I've noticed this placement can be manifested in different ways. It could be, you could have the person that's married early on, whatever, like that settles quickly, that takes love seriously, that whatever. But also that kind of like not a fuckboyish type, but can be on when you see it from the outside, because Venus square Saturn can have this, okay, so I won't let myself get too close to anyone, I will leave before I'm left, I will put up this front, and it's all deep rooted insecurity. It's not, it's someone that is not comfortable expressing their love. They were not taught how to express their love, especially men. Probably the relationship with the father figure, I've realized, like, I've seen this, it's just like the kid didn't feel good enough when it came to their father. Like, their father maybe poked them or like made fun of certain traits about them, so they feel, they never feel good enough, so they feel like they need to put up this front of like like Shades of Cool, Lana Del Rey's song, kind of. But that's all like a facade. It's not actually the deep down real shit. This is very true, and the beginning, of your life, like I still have a long time until I reach my Saturn return, but most relationships can feel very heavy, can feel very karmic, because Saturn is trying to teach you that where you see potential, where you see soulmate, where you see, oh my god, I need to be with this person because they have something that I kind of want, because I see the potential and we could build together. You need to not see people for what they could be, because you haven't even reached your whole potential. And what Saturn is trying to teach you is, you first feed your Venus, you locate where Venus is in your chart, you see the house, you see the aspects, and like, how can I make my Venus happy? Where does my Venus thrive? And feed your Venus. Because when you feed your Venus, you're feeding your own self-esteem. And the way you move when you love yourself, and the way you relate to others, the way you consider and weight relationships is way different, because you are not doing things for the sake of obtaining someone's validation or recognition. You are feeding your Venus. So you stop that like cycle. I think the way this can be manifested is either you have the very hesitant to commit, the commitment phobe, the from one person to another, I will leave you before I'm left, kind of tough steer guy, you know, like toxic masculinity. But this is only a phase of your life, because you will come to the realization that that's not working for you. And you know, your 20s can be hard because you feel disconnected from others in that sense. Like, you may have this sense of, I cannot seem to be chill and have fun and take things lightly. Like, why do I take everything so seriously, you know? But all that seriousness and all that consideration that you have for other people, you need to apply it for your own life. Because what Saturn is all like, what basically Saturn is trying to tell you, like, I see it as Saturn being my dad, and it being like I'm not letting you you know, walk away with this bum, you know, like, I'm not letting you date this bum. So I will put obstacles until you see that he's a bum, so that you yourself leave them. Because, you know, you, like, it's always a choice that you have to make when it comes to setting boundaries, when it comes to leaving people, when it comes to doing what's best for you. Like, no matter what your best friend tells you, like, you know, you will still want to prove them wrong. So it's something that has to come from your own willpower of being like, I need to treat myself like I matter, because I matter before this bum matters, you know? When you realize your own value and everything that you have to give to the world, like, you'll never be the affectionate type. Oh my god, you know, because Venus, like, I myself have Venus in Capricorn squaring Saturn retrograde in the 10th house. But I will know what to give my energy to, you know? Because I said in my Venus in Capricorn video, you know, when we are focused on our own path, our own goals, you know, we don't give that much focus into our failed love life, you know, because we move different. And one thing that's true about Venus square Saturn is that the reason why we may fall, like, attract all those unavailable people, and we get so addicted to all the stalking, the controlling, the Venus square Saturn type of people is the people who will be stalking you 24/7, but they would rather die than text you first, because that's risky, that's stupid. Like, how am I going to do that move without previously knowing the outcome, that I will not be looking foolish, that I will not be made fun of, you know? So you need to get over that in that sense. So you need to build yourself up so that you have the confidence to be more risky, like in a Saturn nature, okay, not in a Aries type of nature. But I think that's really important. And yeah, it can cause a lot of dissatisfaction until you build yourself up and you know what you like, what you don't like, the boundaries that you have. And that love is not competing for someone's validation, it's not earning someone's love, you know, because it's hard for us to understand that just out of who we are, just because I am Sarah, I already have value. Like, there's nothing that I need to work for or add to my personality for me to have more value. Like, I'm valuable as I am. You know, of course you should work on self-improvement, but you are already valuable as you are. So I hope you like this video. Another video I want to make is Venus square ascendant. This one is also fun. But yeah, I just overall love talking about aspects and would love to know what your take on this placement is. We can all make group support for this placement, and yeah, and I'll see you in the next video.